Thank you, Toot.
Morning, friends. Good morning, starshines. Bringing that back. Hello, everybody. Hello, Charles. Hello, Wanna. Hi, Kali. And hello, Toot. Hello, Toot. Like we haven't been around each other all morning. I also hydrated when Toot told me to hydrate, so I will not be in trouble. It is so funny. Toot is gathering a reputation in the horror streaming community for their non-stop hydration. Speaking of the horror community, good morning, Cruza. Fire Toot? No, Toot's the best mod. Toot, best mod. Alright, so this is the situation we're in right now. Early just got up a second ago. She's been sleeping right here, and every time I try and stitch, she moves. So we're gonna try and stitch without disturbing the Earls, because clearly her comfort is more important than stream. So maybe if I go over here, I actually move the camera up so that there would be like more space for me to stitch on camera. Now Early's just judging me. Feel better, baby? This is my reality. This is how I work. So good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, if you celebrate. I mean, I'm disabled. I don't have a full-time job, so every day is Saturday. Every day has the potential to be Saturday. Every day also has the potential to be Monday, so no matter which way you look at it. This is the most awkward way of stitching, just letting you guys know. And that delay on the stream avatars, I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah. She really is so cute, which is why we're stitching like this so we don't disturb her. She's my little work buddy. I came in to get set up for stream about half an hour ago, and she was just sleeping right there. So usually for stream, I push my keyboard all the way back, so I have like space. But if I push the keyboard back, then Early has nowhere to sleep because she prefers sleeping on that side of the keyboard. So the keyboard's staying. The things we do for our children. Well, good morning, Cruza and Cruzas Jr. Lil Cruz. Cheryl says, are you still doing the diagonals? I am. So this is Banks. It used to be called Banks because it is a portrait of my little girl. By the way, if any of you ever come across like a full coverage, a small-ish full coverage of a white and gray cat, please point me in that direction because I would love to do one similar of Earl's, but they're hard to find. So so this is my Banks full coverage, but because we actually call Banks more often, that's the name of the piece now. One says a cat watching a cat be stitched. Yeah. So the way I've been stitching this is, first I was doing kind of chaos stitching, and then I went to diagonals, cross country by diagonal, which is a method I learned from Thread the Needle on YouTube. So basically the way that she does it is she sets it up in 10 stitch diagonals, but I found that was a little bit annoying. It wasn't like quite enough space for me, so I'm doing 20 stitch diagonals. But basically Pattern Keeper will give you diagonal lines to work with, and then I fill in one diagonal at a time. It's supposed to reduce like the lines from doing it in squares, which I don't know. I've never really done full coverage before, so I don't know how much of a problem that is for me. But I like the diagonal method because you get more colors. It's more interesting. Like, for example, if you were to take this diagonal all the way through, you go through the purples, and then you get some of the blacks and the deep purples of the cat. You get the eye coming down here. You get into the pumpkins down in the bottom. So like if you did the full diagonal, you're getting a range of stitching. You're not just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So that's why I'm enjoying the diagonals. So I'm just continuing the diagonals down here. I have been stitching like crazy on a sample piece for just cross stitch. 2 of them actually, which is why I haven't been showing any update photos in the server, is because all I've been stitching on is stuff for just cross stitch. But I hit a major milestone in my piece yesterday, and I said if I had done that, I was going to give myself the weekend off. So I'm giving myself the weekend off from doing the just cross stitch pieces. And I'm gonna see how far I can get on banks. Because I missed doing this one. I've made a few changes to the stream layout, so I do need to figure out a way to put the project information back in, I think. What do you guys think? Do you like having the project information available, or do you mind just me telling you what it is? We just use project? Yeah. I might just start using project again. Did I update that? I think I actually removed that command. I will put it back. Yeah, I'll figure out something. But, so for those of you who cross-stitch and want the details, the pattern is actually from an AI pattern mill that I didn't realize was an AI pattern mill. Should have. Did not. We all get sucked in by them. But I didn't quite like the way that they had done the background, so I kind of took the cat and the pumpkins and generated a background based on a piece of art. And kind of cobbled it together myself. I'm using all DMC. It is 2/1 full cross on 16 count easy grid. And it's my first full coverage project. My first easy grid project. I'm absolutely loving it. So I was doing the diagonals, but as you can see, I needed a break, and I really wanted to stitch her face. So I took a break and I stitched her face. Like, look at that. Look how cute that is. The face is what really drew me to this image, is because Binks has a little bit of a squish face. And this cat has a little bit of a squish face too. So the background, the background is not AI. I searched for a piece of artwork that I liked. In these purple shades of like Spooky Moon and everything like that. I think the one that I ended up going with was an edited photo. And then I used my pattern software to create the background that I then put the cat on top of. Sorry, I wasn't clear. Good morning, Gwen. Gwen. Thanks, Orly. Hi, Earls. Everyone yelling. Lo-fi. Good morning, Lo-fi Pudding. Toot, could I get a shout out for Lo-fi Pudding, please? They are a streamer here on Twitch. They do co-working, and I think games on their other channel? Question mark. But I hang out with them a lot for co-working. Thank you, Toot. Yes, I am a lurkin' often in Lo-Fi's stream. I always have like a co-working stream or a cross-stitch stream pulled up on my computer just for the vibes. Actually, too, while we're doing shoutouts, Toot the Chaos DH. Toot the Chaos DH is your spooky older sibling. They do no commentary horror games and one non-horror game. So it's a vibe. We just hang out. It's like hanging out on the couch with your sibling while they play games, and you're just kind of doing your thing, and it's amazing. And we're having Ghost Church tomorrow morning, So you guys are all welcome to join us, 10 a.m. Eastern. Phasmophobia. Follow Toot. It's a good time. Played up is absolutely horror. What do you mean? Lo-Fi says, I'm a variety gamer on my Puds 3 channel. Long co-working stream all next week, which I'm hyped for. Ooh, I'm hyped for that too. You have to record a shit ton of videos for your YouTube. Also, thank you for the shout out. No problem. No problem. What kind of YouTube do you YouTube? I used to do quite a few YouTube videos. I mean, when I was a gaming channel, I was trying to put out a gaming video every day, and then I slowed down to every week, and then it was every other week, and now it's like nothing. When are you, me, Toot, and Cryptic playing Phasma together? Cruza asks. I don't know, but that sounds like a lot of fun. I'll Van Princess for you. I am the glucose guardian. Played up is quite terrifying, says Lo-Fi. You have a VOD channel, but you're recording for your indie horror YouTube vids. Amazing! Yeah, it's rough. You've been slowly working up. Currently uploading 2 videos a week. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard, and especially like in the gaming space, because hi Early. Thank you very much, Earls. I appreciate you. Did the camera flicker for you guys? Are you okay? I think it's OBS being weird. Okay. So I started as a gaming streamer. I stream cozy games. So if you want to head back on my YouTube channel, or the yeah, you can't head back on Twitch, but if you want to head back on the YouTube channel, you'll see my cozy game streams. And in the gaming sphere, uploading daily is kind of the it's the standard. Like, if you're not uploading daily or almost daily, then you're not, like, feeding the algorithm the right way, if that makes sense. So there is an expectation of, like, a lot of short videos. And they are, like, the shorter videos are, yes, easier to produce, but you also have to do more of them. Thank you for the YouTube link, Toot. So it's there. If you're watching on YouTube, you've already found the YouTube channel. I dual stream. Lo-Fi says, it's insane, because my horror channel was doing so well, then suddenly I just stopped pushing my videos. Even my Twitch followers who also watch my YouTube vids are like, yeah, wait, I haven't been recommended those videos. Yeah. Yeah, it's, the algorithm is a fickle beast. So I was doing, I mean, you can see most of my playthrough of Dredge on my channel, and those were like 15-minute videos.
Thank you, Toot.
Thank you for the hydrate. But then I moved over to kind of the crafting sphere, and the expectations, like, I don't even want to say expectations, because I don't think most YouTube viewers have expectations, but kind of the meta, the culture in the crafting sphere is very different. It's like, if you upload an hour-long video every month, that's normal. Is it okay if you post my horror YouTube link? Yes, go ahead, post your link. I think you're allowed to post. If not, if you could just whisper Toot, and they'll post it. Thank you. Thank you, Toot. Dredge was so good. It was so good. Because it starts off not that spooky, and then it gets, like, real spooky. There was one point where I got spooked so bad I had to take an ad break. I had to take an ad break to like recenter and focus myself. And Toot brought me an emotional support banana because I needed it. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so give me a sec. I can actually post that for you. Don't worry about it. Got scolded. I'm sorry you got scolded. Okay. It's got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, my emotional support banana. I really needed it. That was a... I love Dredge. Thank you. Thank you, Toot. Toot best mod. We, So Toot also mods for our friend Moonphased. Who you guys on the channel know we cross-stitch together. As well as we just started, both of us just started modding for Cryptic Entity. Toot is the best mod out there, like, really. They're on top of shit. They brook absolutely no shit from anyone. Yes, I'm perceiving you. I think, Cruza, you're getting scolded for your uwu and my good Christian cross-stitch stream. It's not a good Christian cross-stitch stream. I say as one of my witchy patterns shows up on the screen. Thank you for all the shoutouts, Toot. So yeah, if you guys want to follow Moonphased, she's been doing more and more cross-stitch streams, which is awesome, but she also plays a variety of games. And our buddy Cryptic is a variety horror streamer. You forgot your foods? Alright, go get foods. And Purple Kitty is looking so good. Thank you, Lo-Fi. Yeah, I love. But yeah, like in the crafting sphere, a lot of people only upload every other week, once a month, and they're much longer videos. Like 45 minutes to an hour and a half is kind of more standard. So it's a very different pace. She says, okay, so when does uwu not align that way? I think Toot just doesn't want me to say ooh. No, if Toot hated you, Toot would just ignore you. Alright, everybody, let's stop perceiving Toot. I think I've done too much of it. Talk about something else. This is true, that you would ignore, not that you hate Cruza. Yeah, I know, like, if you... Toot just doesn't engage. Toot has no time. Like, just no time. So if you guys are curious about my flap storage, our main stock is in 4 of like the bobbin boxes. We bobbinate everything. And then on a project basis, I use these little pencil boxes from Michaels. I have a label on them that I label in erasable pen so I can reuse them. And then I toss stuff in here. Oh, thank you so much for the follows, Lo-Fi. Appreciate that. Sharing the love. Yeah, Toot's gonna be live again tomorrow morning for Ghost Church. And then again on Monday for more Phasmophobia. Okay, now you go get foods. Okay, go. Go eat. Oh god, I have a knot. Toot's gonna judge me. But yeah, so, and I do miss making YouTube content. I might get back to it. I just kind of hit a point where like I didn't have the bandwidth for it, and that was, I was doing so many things that something had to go, and YouTube was kind of the easiest thing to go. I will be doing a couple of tutorials coming up, probably. Oh yeah, Cruiser, that's right. Cryptic was 1 away from 700. Let's heckin' go. Let's heckin' go. Yeah, Cryptic's a good bean. It's funny though, because so I hang out in the crafting sphere. Quarter Stitch Crisis, good morning! I have to send you an email, I keep forgetting. Dude, that deserves 10k crates for DH. No thank you. I don't even use my Dixper crates anymore. Friday night streams are fun. Toot and I, we take turns switching off if we're doing bingo or Dixper. There are too many intersecting lines right now. He's sending to Cruza. What was I saying? Yeah, so because when I'm actively using a color, I don't like, okay, right now I'm using this 3836. I don't like rewinding the thread every time. So I like using these little floss boxes, these little pencil boxes, because I can just toss it in and snap it closed. And then when I'm finished with the color, I'll wind the bobbin. But then this way the cats can't get into it. So yeah, that's the way that I do things. I know not everybody does. Okay, let me lean forward a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Just pulled that right on through. British says, are the eyes stitched in a different number of threads? No, it's all 2/1. But the eyes do look a bit fuller for some reason, and I don't know if that's because that floss is a little bit older, so it's like fluffier. But the eyes are quite striking. I really love them. Like, that's kind of why I skipped around, because I really wanted to do the eyes. Lo-Fi says, I assume the shading? Yeah, I don't know. But even then, the individual stitches are quite old. It almost looks like the fur is like 1/1. Huh. Yeah, it is, there's a nice different texture there. The face is coming out really well. Like, I was worried because when you look at the chart, it's like, here's a big blob of black, and I'm like, how is that going to look like a face? But then you actually can see the little like snoot, the lip, that kind of thing. It's really cute. Adorbs. And I love, it's a black cat, but it's done in shades of purple. Purple and dark blue. And there is black in there as well, but there's a lot of purple in this pattern. If you couldn't tell, there's a lot of purple in this pattern. Alright. Alright guys, well we've been going for about half an hour, which means that it is time for a stretch break. So I'm gonna put up the break screen. Alright, you guys know what to do?
Drink.
Go. Drink, yes, absolutely. Thank you for the hydrate, Cruza. Alright, go, get up, stretch, grab a snack, unshrimp. Fun shrimp. And I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes.
The only way the ancient astronaut theory can be disproven is when the extraterrestrials show up.
Hello, hello, welcome back. Let's get my Stitch Cam back up. Alright, Lo-Fi Pudding has redeemed an Ancient Aliens fact. So let's get a little bit biblical. We're going to talk about the Nephilim. So this is like Old Testament. But basically, in the Old Testament, and some of the apocryphal books that were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, they talk about angels coming down to Earth. And they found human women very attractive. So they hooked up with them. And the resulting offspring were giants of huge proportions, and they were called the Nephilim. And so these giants are everywhere in the Old Testament. David and Goliath. Goliath was a Nephilim. So of course, I says that sounds like Greek gods. Yeah. So of course, in ancient alien theory, ancient astronaut theory, the idea is you're looking at these mythological sources or religious sources and seeing and trying to understand them in a modern context. So the idea is that, you know, it wasn't angels that came down, because Christian angels don't like sexy times. But in fact, it was aliens who came down and interbred with the humans, resulting in the Nephilim. Alternately, it was the Nephilim, or the giants, were the result of genetic experimentation. So not necessarily interbreeding, but like, because the people writing the Bible at they didn't know it was the Bible. The people writing the accounts at the time wouldn't have known what genetic manipulation was, and they wouldn't have understood artificial insemination and anything like that. So they come down, they take a woman, and the baby results. That's what they assumed happened. So the giants of the Bible are one example that ancient alien theorists point to as potential proof of alien intervention in our genetic development. There are quite a few others. The Anunnaki, the Egyptian gods. There's a lot of tales of the gods creating new species, new breeds. But I love the ones from the Old Testament and from apocryphal Christian literature, apocryphal Judeo-Christian literature. They're just very interesting. Would the giants not be able to reproduce, as Lo-Fi? I can't remember. I don't know if the Nephilim were ever said to reproduce. That'd be an interesting question to research. Go ask a very experienced rabbi. Okay, Earl's is gone. I don't have to stitch at quite such an awkward angle. Just rearrange my space a little bit here. Pray that this doesn't heck up my camera. Come on, arm. Bend down. Thank you. Also, in my new... So going back to a subject we were talking about a little while ago. My new setup would make it a lot easier to film YouTube videos, which is why I'm kind of like, I might throw it back in the mix. But, like, not now. There's so much going on. We are still so far from unpacked. Actually, Toot and I woke up with like tons of beans this morning. Just energy and wanting to do stuff. So Toot and I were talking about, we're just gonna go through the house room by room and kind of like make a list of what needs to get done. Because right now it kind of feels like we're spinning in circles. We're not sure what needs to still be done. We're not sure where to focus our energy. So it's time for a list. And I love a good list. So I'm looking forward to that after stream. Quarterstitch says I moved 6 months ago and I'm still not fully unpacked. It takes time. Yeah, I know. Like, I know it's going to be a while before we get fully unpacked. Like, the books and the games and things are definitely not going to get unpacked anytime soon. But I'm still missing half my kitchen. 2, 3, yep. Which is why I don't have coffee this morning. Lo-Fi says, yeah, take it slow, and when you have the energy to put all of your creativity and energy into the videos after the move. Exactly, yeah. Take it slow, take easy, also important. Which reminds me. So if you guys have Prime Gaming, thank you for putting up the disclaimer. So if you guys have Prime Gaming, Mail Time is free this week. This month. Mail Time's free if you have Prime Gaming. And Mail Time is the game where the phrase "take easy, also important" comes from. It's from the character Socks. He tells your character, he gives your character tips on how to be a marathon runner. It's run fun, take easy, also important, tie laces, sleep only on left side. Oh. Early, are you coming back? I know, I moved your keyboard. Whatever are you going to do? Just settle right here. Okay, hi. This is their stream. I'm only moderating it. I also need to unpack my cat treats so I can do cat summons again. Lo-Fi says kitchen, bathroom, pet supplies, clothes, home supplies, decor. Kind of the order. Yeah. We've got, so I kind of unloaded enough. Of the kitchen that like we can eat and make basic stuff, but I haven't unpacked all of our appliances, including my hot water dispenser, which so right now I'm making coffee in either, my options are instant with the kettle or French press with the kettle or my 1-cup coffee maker. And all of those just seemed like too many steps this morning. I just want my hot water dispenser back so I can just dump coffee into my French press, hit the button on the hot water dispenser, and walk away. So, yeah, I've still got boxes to unpack there. Lo-Fi says, wait, you mean you don't believe in aliens being so enthralled by human women that they make giants? I don't. No. I do not, in fact, believe in that. Toot just feels the need to make a disclaimer every time I bring it up. But you like your chai? It's powder, so heat up some soy milk, pop the powder in, relax time. Yeah, exactly. 2 steps. I talk about this a lot because I have ADHD, but I'm also disabled. So when you're disabled, you kind of have to break things down. Thank you for the hydrate. You definitely have to break things down into smaller tasks. Because often people don't realize how many small tasks are involved in doing a big task, and each small task requires its own energy expenditure. So like making coffee for me, get mug, dump coffee into French press, put French press under hot water dispenser, press button on hot water dispenser. That's kind of like 1 step. That's 2 steps right there. And then I let it brew for a few minutes and then I pour it. So that's 2-step coffee. If I'm using my 1-cup coffee maker, I have to fill the cup with fill the mug with water, fill the coffee maker with water, fill the thing with coffee grounds, hit the button, and then go back and get it. So that's like 3 or 4 steps. And sometimes that's just too many steps. My breakfasts, sometimes I don't want to eat unless it's a 1-step breakfast. Like toast, it's a 2-step breakfast. And sometimes toast is just too much. It's like and it feels silly to say like I don't have the energy to make toast because I have to butter it. But at the same time, sometimes I just don't have the energy to do that extra step. Lo-Fi says, I talk a lot about how when you're disabled, you have to think about the cost of energy a lot. All tasks require either the price of energy or the price of cash. That's right. During this move, we were lucky in that my parents were helping us with the move financially, and they both understand that there are some things that we just can't do, or that we could do, but the cost to our bodies would be so high that it wouldn't be worth it. So we did end up hiring a lot of help for packing and moving and cleaning and stuff that able-bodied people would not necessarily struggle with. And like hanging a TV. Able-bodied person can hang a TV or replace a shower head. Can I anymore? No, I cannot. That's okay. That's okay. That's what friends and money are for. And honestly, being disabled, being sick the way that I am, is one of the reasons that I started doing YouTube videos in the first place. Because I felt like I had a unique perspective. I felt like I had a unique perspective in that I am trans, I'm non-binary, I am disabled, I am fat, and that's not necessarily a perspective that you often see in crafting circles. So I talked about all of those things, as well as my crafting, and how they impact my crafting, how they impact my life, that kind of thing. When you moved from Oregon to Washington, it was awful. We were really glad to have my sister-in-law and my mother to help pack and load up the truck. I'm not sure which part you're saying really to, but yeah. Crafting spaces on YouTube. Maybe you met crafting people through the queer community. Yeah, so the people that I meet in Discords and things, queer and neurodivergent. The people I see on YouTube, white, cis, straight-sized women. And also straight women. Or gay men. Like, that's kind of that's the 2 categories of most crafters. And I mean, that is changing. And it is becoming more varied. But especially when I started doing... Hi, Earls. Earls is sitting between me and my keyboard. Between me and my project. Between me and Pattern Keeper. There we go. But yeah, that was the crowd that was on FlossTube and Knitting YouTube. Quarterster says, my partner has ADHD. And their throw money at the problem process has honestly been nice in some situations where I would have just powered through and done it myself before. The idea of making my space work for me, not having to be a certain way, is really mind-blowing, and I'm loving it. Yeah, absolutely. And Toot just chimed in, yeah. It's been incredible for us too. Just working to make our space work for us and not try to make it what it should be. Absolutely. Like, we don't need a dining table. We never have people over. We eat at our computers. Do we need a ton of space in the kitchen for, like, cat trees and a space for them to hang out in the window? Yes, that's what we need. Early, I have to... This is plugged in. I can't move it too far. Thank you. Highly recommend to anyone living with a disability the book Unmasking for Life by Dr. Devin Price. Talks a lot about adapting your life to you and not society expectations. Oh, that's great. I might check that out. Because it's hard. It's hard to do. And we end up powering through way more than we should. But, oh, I'm too ADHD for audiobooks. Although I haven't tried an audiobook since I started my medication. So that might have changed. Alright, Arrows. My mind would just wander off in the middle of an audiobook. Oh, Dr. Price is also trans, so there's a lot of queer aspects talked about. Oh, that's good too. But yeah, it's so funny because the people that I meet through Twitch and Discord are predominantly queer and neurodivergent. The people I meet through YouTube, or the people that I see on YouTube, because I've met queer and neurodivergent people through YouTube because they found my videos talking about being queer and neurodivergent and crafting. It's very not that. It is changing though. It is changing. I just found a new floss tube. He just posted one episode, but it's a straight guy, and he talks about his love of music and his love of cross stitch, and he seems like a pretty chill dude. So I'm hoping he does more content. In the knitting space, because I used to knit before, like my hands have just kind of given up on knitting, unfortunately. I used to knit a lot. I put out a video on how to adapt patterns or how to find a pattern for bigger bodies. That was really great. I enjoyed that. Because I feel like not a lot of people would see someone who weighs 400 pounds standing in a tank top on screen saying, okay, this is how you measure your waist, while showing off their entire torso. Like, I think people just don't see that. Like, I was on camera from my knees to the top of my head in a tank top and, like, I can't remember what pants I was wearing. I think it was leggings, actually. Because I wanted to show people how to, like, take measurements that are actually going to help you make a fitting garment. And that's hard to do while hiding your body. I think I also belly drummed in the video. If not, I definitely did in the outtakes. I am magnificent. Lo-Fi says, yeah, you have an empty niche then. Focusing on the branding on the YouTube channel being queer and disabled focus is really in demand. Absolutely, yeah. Porter says, I'm a straight white woman and I'm tired of seeing all the straight white women on FlossTube. Girl, same. I mean, I'm not a straight. I am white. I'm not a straight white woman. And I mean, like, it's a gross generalization. There are definitely, like I said, like there's quite a few gay men that I follow who are all white. I follow an Indian creator, Thread the Needle, who I got this diagonal method from. She's Indian, which is interesting. She's Indian living in Newfoundland, so she's got an interesting mix of experiences there. also her accent cracks me up because it's like, it's a little bit Newfie, it's a little bit like Midwest, and it's a little bit Indian. But she's good. I like her. Alright, just checking off what I've done here. Because it's time for a new color. So a lot of people, when they're doing full coverages, they will do parking. So if I were parking, I would go and find the nearest stitch outside of this diagonal that I'm using this color in, and then I would just put the thread through and then leave it hanging. However, because this pattern uses relatively few colors and they're relatively large blocks, I am fastening off all my threads. Also, my back is horrendous, but all of my backs are horrendous, so we're rolling with it. Early girly, what did you do with my scissors? Thank you, baby. What did you do with my floss box? Where's all of my stuff? Are you just sitting on it? Okay, thank you. Thank you for the hydrate, Cruza. The back of cross stitches do not always look like a horror show. Toot's backs are immaculate. Mine are a horror show. Like, let's look at that. Look at that. Behold it. No, Toots are great. I don't know if I have a picture of one of Toot's backs, or else I would show you. Thanks, it's the trauma. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this. It's gonna, I think it's gonna be gigantic. Yes, it is. Oh my god. I am the proest pro streamer. You guys have no idea. Okay, there we go. This is the full pattern that I'm working on, in case you guys were interested. This is just the wind stitch mock-up. So unfortunately, I don't think the pattern's available anymore, the original one, and I mean, with my edits, I'm not distributing it. I know, I love it. I love it. It's a relatively small full coverage as well, because like full coverages can be 500,000 stitches easily. This one is just about 30,000, so it's not huge. The next one I'm going to start is about 125,000 after I finish this one. Befai says he looks like he's gonna F you up if you touch his pumpkin. Yeah. Well, I kind of like it. That's one of the things that drew me to this one. I don't... okay. Oh yeah, she's doing the bongo on the pumpkin. Sometimes, if you guys are across the street, you'll understand this. Sometimes you see a pattern and you need to start it immediately. It happens to me way too often with Mama Witches. It happened to me with this one. Mama Witches are the worst for it, though. But it happened to me with this. It happened to me with the Mama Witch. It happened to me with my Star Wars scroll, which I found. I was like, I don't know where my stuff is, but I found it. Oh, sorry about that. This was the last whip that I didn't know where it was. Actually, it was this and Mari Louie, but they were in the same bag, and I knew they were in the same bag. So, this pattern I needed to start immediately. Come on. I'm trying to show you something else. This is from a small shop on Etsy. And he literally just has 3 patterns up, and they're all these, like, it's a scroll. It's a stylized scroll showing the entire story of the first 3 Star Wars episodes. So this is episode 3. So, like, you guys can recognize that scene. Do it. And then so it's a whole scroll telling the whole story. Long. I did the whole bottom because I wanted to make sure it would all fit on this piece of fabric. I dyed this piece of fabric. It's tea dyed. So it goes all the way to there. Yeah, I am gonna do all 3 episodes eventually. I'm glad I found this, because it didn't get lost in the move. That was another one that I needed to start the instant I saw it. This is the other one that was in that bag. I might as well show it to you guys. This is my, like, seasonal Christmas stitch. So when it starts getting cold again, I'll pull her back out for the Christmas festive season. This is my Mari Louie. I have her face all done. I just need to do, like, her ribbons and stuff. So yeah. While we're doing show and tell, I was going to show you guys. I was talking about parking earlier, and I was going to show this one I was doing. I'm parking on this piece. This is my dimensions kit. And as you can see, I'm doing it on the diagonal again. I haven't finished this diagonal quite yet, but I'm parking for this one. So each of these threads is in the place where I'm going to use them next, which means I don't have to try and remember what thread colors they are. All I have to do is look at my chart and be like, okay, this thread is in this spot, which means it's this color. So when you're parking, you have to be very careful to actually put it in the right spot. So yeah. But I'm also loving Enchantress. This is done in half cross. Like, there's a few full crosses here. Dimensions kits mix it all up with what stitches you use and how many threads you use. I'm really enjoying the process of stitching on this kit, though. I'm really loving the, like, watercolor effect of this background, which I know is the point, but I'm loving the way it's looking. This is one of those that, like, when you're stitching it, it's kind of too close for you to see how it's gonna look, and then you hold it far away and you're like, oh yeah, it's trees. It's not just random blotches of color. Gwen says, I'm thinking of doing diagonal and parking on Tierra, but I'm so intimidated by parking. It's not that bad. Honestly, it's pretty easy to do. You just have to be careful to keep your threads in order, which is why every time I finish a thread, like, words. Every time I park a thread, I will, I'll kind of smooth out all of my parked threads and retwist them into the spiral and kind of tuck them in. Gothy Bio Venom, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just talking about doing cross stitch. Gwen, when are you starting on Tiara? Because I keep coming across that piece because I was browsing unconventional cross stitch. Is it unconventional cross stitch or Thread Geeks that you got that from? Anyways, I was looking at both of them because there's new patterns from a couple of artists that I really like. Thread Geeks, yes. I love that pattern. Gwen is going to start a full coverage. It's this beautiful, like, earth goddess thing. Beautiful. Now that I've announced it on stream, you have to do it. That's the law. Not the law. Take your time. You're going to place your order on June 1st, but that's getting bumped up to next Friday because that's when payday is. And I want to make sure everything is fully kitted up before the 12th. What? June 12th. What happens on June 12th? Is it your birth? Am I missing something? Oh, you have a medical procedure happening on the 12th, and you'll be off work for a few weeks afterwards. That makes sense, and then you can have your full coverage big piece to keep you company while you're convalescing. Yeah, so you want everything to be good to go by then. That makes sense. Definitely. Well, we'll keep in touch, and I hope that the medical procedure goes well. No complications, and that you're feeling better after that. So I'm just kind of working down the side here. I like tracing out the diagonals, so I kind of know where I'm stitching. Also, it's satisfying filling in a box. You might try to start it earlier just so you're not trying to figure out parking while on paint meds. That I would advise. That I would advise. I mean, even because you're gonna start in one corner, right? So you don't need the threads for the entire piece. You just need the threads for that one corner. And you can get started. As long as you have the fabric. The threads are not the issue. The fabric is always the issue. For full coverage, it can get kind of pricey for a big piece of fabric. What are you working on now then while you're waiting for Tiara? Everybody, we're gonna do the what are you working on question. Share what you're working on, please. I wish to know. And as always, please feel free to share your creative works in the Discord server. Thank you for the hydrate, Cruza. Cruza's working on laundry. I gotta do that today too. I have a load to fold. Holly's working on a Celtic cardigan in a muted rainbow. Ooh, gorgeous. Gothy Biovenom is working on your stained glass Arthas cross stitch while you mount farm in World of Warcraft 2. I love the multitasking there. I will cross stitch and set an auto clicker in Minecraft or Stardew to fish and just fish while cross stitching. But Kali, that sounds beautiful. Celtic cardigan. You've been putting out some amazing knitting lately. I'm really impressed. Lately, your hyperfixation has been taken over by the solo TTRPG game. But when I've picked up stitching, it's been Totoro. Yeah, that's a really cool, TTRPG that Gwen is doing. Lots of like character sheets and creative stuff and world building. Sounds like something I would have gotten really into when I was in high school. It's a 15 to 20 minute spawn time for this rare, so a lot of time in between swapping alts. Makes sense. It's good that you have something to work on. By a lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have patience for that. It's like, have you ever stood in a line for 20 minutes? That's 20 minutes of cross-stitching time. Ever been on hold for an hour and a half with the government? Cross-stitching time. Kali says, thanks. I posted the progress up to last night. Currently working on the transition to yellow. Nice. And I know Toot is working on another shop sample for me. Hashtag blessed. I have an amazing test stitcher as well as mod, spouse, partner. I'm just going to perceive Toot a little bit. True story, the other day, Toot was waiting for me somewhere. We were like out. So I walked up to them. And, I mean, Toot is agender, but this is a phrase left over from when we were both women. And I walked up to her and I said, hey, pretty girl. Actually, I walked up to her and I said, hey, pretty girl. And she gave me such a look of disgust. Like, just sheer disgust and judgment until I went, okay, hello, pretty unknowable cryptid that I can't actually perceive. And then that was acceptable. Oh, you answered me. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Rude. Yes, you did. You're working on your tattoo hoodie and then a thecozydh original. I'm so happy. I was in Moon's stream the other night, and Moon asked, like, what are you guys working on? And the first 3 people who answered were all working on my patterns. And I was like, I feel so good about this. But yeah, Toot and I are both doing our tattoo hoodie projects. I haven't done a new... God, it's so called Toot DH's pretty girl from now on. No. No, that will get you heckin' banned. Please do not. Toot is my goblin cryptid. I love them just the way that they are. It says I will end your bloodline. Yep. I mean, she ended hers. And Cruza is... Well, Cruza's not banned. The best mod. No, Cruza. What have I done? Telling silly stories. Oh, you guys can still see early, by the way. She's right here. This is her tail. It's cute. That all tucked in. Now she's flicking it angrily at me because I was playing with it. Yeah. Did I bug you? Yeah. I am so happy to be back streaming. I really missed it. I missed talking to you guys. I missed hanging out with you guys. I miss being part of the community at large, and I'm still easing back into the Discord more and more. It's kind of hard when you get out of the habit. I think this is a neurodivergent thing, and I'm sure many of you will understand or empathize. But you know when someone sends you a text message and you don't reply right away? And like you haven't quite forgotten, you know you need to reply, but you don't get around to it, and then you don't get around to it, and then you don't get around to it, and it's like 3 weeks later, and now you can't reply because it's been too long. That's how it kind of feels trying to get back into a Discord community. Like, how do you do it? Do you just like drop in like, I'm back, bitches? It's my own community too. But I don't want to just pop up to be like, hey, new pattern, buy my shit. Hey, I'm streaming, come and watch me. I want to like interact and hang out. He says I just sprinkle memes when you've been absent. That's a good way to go about it too. Because I am an inherent lurker. But you can't really lurk when it's your community. Kool-Aid Man gif. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna greet you guys every morning. Busting through the door. You spaced on your floss tube video and now it's somehow the middle of May? Oh no. Do you do like a monthly wrap up on your floss tube? Because yeah, the last monthly wrap up I did was September, so you're okay. You try to do a monthly one? Yeah, I like doing a monthly one. I love stats. I love stats. I love like saying like I did this many stitches, I worked on this many projects. I was gathering my stats monthly. I definitely did it for last year. Hey, Spoopy Skeletons, welcome in. Welcome in. I saw you last night in Sassacast's chat. But yeah, I love knowing the numbers and stuff, and like, this is what I worked on, this is what I got done, and this is what I started. But yeah, I haven't done a monthly wrap up in forever. You think you've managed 2 on time this year? What is on time? Time is a construct. What is your handle on YouTube, Gothy? We were talking about floss tubes a little bit earlier. I used to do a floss tube, but I had too much going on and something had to go, and it was the videos. You're trying to get into the habit of keeping stats. It's not the easiest to develop, but I'm kind of doing it. Yeah, I use Notion for my stats. I built a I have a database that tracks my daily stats. Ask me about my Notion. Yeah. I made a video about how I use Notion to track my stats. But every one of my projects has a button that says stitch. I hit that button, it creates a new entry in my tracking spreadsheet, and I just have to type in the number of stitches that I did. I just have to type in the number of stitches I did, and then it tracks it automatically. And then at the end of the month, I can use filters and different views of that database to get the stats that I need. You just changed yours from Gothy Blogs to Goth Goblin Stitching. Check it out. Thank you very much. This is 3. You got Notion and then started building it, then forgot it existed. I find that happens a lot with Notion, is people will get it, they'll play with it for a few days, and then like it's just too new and too overwhelming, and they like set it down and walk away.
Thank you, Toot.
Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. You have a physical book you're trying to use to track your daily stitching, but then you've got a spreadsheet for your full coverage. Makes sense. The way that I've got mine set up is I can search by stitches or by project. So each stitch count is attached to a project, so I can like exclude or include whatever I need to do. One says I tried Notion, but I'm too lazy to keep track. It's just become a habit, really. Last thing I do at night is put my stitches in for the day. I mean, I forget sometimes, and then I have to do math. But I like the stats enough that I keep up with it. The one thing I'm not good at keeping up with in terms of project notes is when I've made substitutions or changes, I don't always write that down, and I really should. Substitutions, changes, update photos, like, I'm not great at those things. You're also trying to do WhipGo again, says Gothy. But I fell super behind, so I'm on the verge of abandoning it for the year 2. I forget update photos all the time, as well as starting photos when I pick it up again. Yeah, I meant to do a before and after picture for this weekend for Binks. Thanks. Totally forgot. And I also tried WhipGo this year. Swoopy says, I love the little snake stream avatars. I've never seen ones like this before. Oh, thank you. Toot actually found these. I stole them from her. I don't know where she found them. Toot uses stream avatars from an artist on Etsy. Fantastic. Yeah, I was trying to do WhipGo too. I don't have many whips. So I was doing... Oh, you just found it on the Steam Workshop? Okay, cool. I don't have many whips, so traditional WhipGo doesn't really work for me and my style of stitching. So I did prompts instead. So like one prompt was Toot picks for the month. One prompt was chat picks. One prompt was the one with the most stitches remaining. The one with the least stitches remaining. The most colors remaining. The least colors remaining. That kind of thing. I kept up pretty good through March, and then April and May so far have fallen apart wildly. But that's okay. I think I'm done with this color for this diagonal. Oh, no, there's one stitch all the way up here. I like the concept of Whipco. I like the randomness of Whipco, but doing the randomness just once a month and then having to stick to that is not my vibe. I would rather spin a wheel every day or every week instead of having a number called twice a month, if that makes sense. I require more random in my life. Maybe we'll do another Wheel of Whips stream sometime once I have more of my whips in a place where I can actually stitch on them. I found my hoops. I have a bag of hoops and I couldn't find them for the life of me. I knew they were somewhere in the house. I knew I had unpacked them. So earlier, are you sitting on my box of floss again? But I found them, so now I can actually, like, have more things in my good hoops. You started a bunch of new ones, says Gothy. Whoop. And Whipco worked last year even with all the chaos, but this year I've just used full coverage on it. And I've still got extra months to catch up on still. I didn't set up stitch counts this time, so it's all vibes. Oh, off, please. You also wanted more random, so all your whips are on a wheel with more new starts. Because you've been behind, you're not spinning it yet. Wheel of Whips is the best thing. Wheel, wheel, wheel. $5.50 is going to be my next color. Holly's going to a local yarn store tour this weekend. Nice. You'll be looking at and trying not to buy a bunch of pretty yarn tomorrow. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. But also, treat yourself. Alright, let's see if the 550 is in here. Oh, we don't step on the cross stitch, baby. Oh yeah, you already failed yesterday. Good. Treat yourself. The baby alpaca silk fingering got you? I can see how that would get you. That sounds incredibly soft and incredibly airy and incredibly light. I also realized that, like, I'm probably not stitching in the best place for stream because I'm doing this edge here. That's okay. You guys can still see what I'm working on. Alright, it's time for another break, another stretch break, another get up and hydrate break. If you're here on Twitch, I'm going to run 3 minutes of ads. Otherwise, get up, stretch, do all the things. I'll see you back here in 3 minutes. We're back. Wanna, thank you so much for the gift sub. I don't know if anything popped up, but Wanna, thank you for the gift sub. And hello, Attila, welcome on YouTube. We're streaming some cross stitch today. Just working on this full coverage piece, chilling, chatting. Want to thank you so much for the gift sub. It is super appreciated, as always. The Crypt community, I hope you enjoy your emotes, and welcome to the cozy hide. Okay, has anyone used a nerd hoop? Because I heard something about the nerd hoops that I wish to confirm. I have heard that they have the magic ridge in them. You have one? Okay. Does it have the ridge inside that, like... But you're using one of the rectangle nerdges now? Booby skeletons. Okay, so I got these hoops off of Amazon like super cheap. And I didn't realize when I got them that they've got this little ridge inside that hooks into this ridge. That keeps your tension really, really well. Okay, they do have the ridge. They have the ridge and you don't like it? Is it because it's super difficult to get on? Because they are super difficult to get on. But once you get them on, you don't have to like redo or anything because they just hold the tension so well. Okay, that's dangerous information to have because I love these hoops. But I've never been able to find them individually or find any information on like what the little ridge is called or how, because it's not mentioned in the Amazon listing for these. So, and they come in a big pack, like with a 12-inch, like a 12, 10, 8, and so forth. But I just want a bunch of 8s. You don't like it because it feels like it's hurting the fabric? It makes sense. It's not, though. Fabric's fine. It likes the extra hug. But I can understand that feel, yeah. Like, when I do it over... I got super nervous about putting the hoop over stitched areas when I first started using them, because it felt like it was pulling so much. But I haven't seen any, like, squashing or tearing or ripping or anything. Gothy says, I've got crappy disabled hands, so I find that they aren't as bad to load as the cheap hoops. Good. But the Nurges I tried, and it's been really good. I wouldn't use it for beading or specialty stitches, though. Absolutely, yeah. I feel like it would kind of crush beads. And I don't really do specialty stitching or beads, honestly. But yeah, and I like that they're rectangles. Because I was using a cross-stitch frame. And I love the cross-stitch frame because it was square. And cross-stitch is square. So it makes sense that you would put the square thing in the square thing to work on it. Unlike a hoop, which is round, but you're doing square things in the round hoop. I don't know how crazy that sounded, but I feel like someone will understand me. But the Nurge hoops are triangular. I stopped using frames because they were heavier. I was using a stand frequently, and then I don't know why. I think the stand, just like the way that my chair was set up, shifted, and I stopped being able to use the stand as easily. Or it got annoying or something. And I just started stitching in hand more and found that I was really enjoying these hoops because they do hold the tension. Otherwise, like the wooden hoops, you have to reseat them so often because you get it nice and tight and then like 5 minutes later it's super floppy. Gothy's saying, I'm planning to get a few more of the size 3 ones to use instead of the hoops. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. I know you can get like knockoff Nurges on Amazon for pretty cheap. Eventually. This is all like speculative. You're going hunting for a secondhand stand and big long frame tomorrow for your reenactment setup because you can't use your Nurges for it. That makes sense. Have to behave period appropriately. Yeah, my stand is like black and metal with a big chrome clip. Definitely wouldn't work in a reenactment. This is a reenactment of the 90s. You know, vintage 90s. And usually like right now my hand's cramping a little bit because I'm holding it like right here because I'm working right next to the edge of the frame, the edge of the hoop, but usually I just find the hoops lighter and easier to hold. There is, however, the issue of grime, which I'm running up against. Like, from your finger oils touching the fabric. I do have grime guards, but I find that they envelop too much of the fabric and leave me with too little of a working space. So I gotta figure that out. It's not exactly going to be period accurate, but it'd be close enough for the 2 events you do per year. Sounds good. I had a buddy in college, and his summer job was being a blacksmith in reenactment villages. I just had a buddy who was a blacksmith. That 100% tracks. I think he's a teacher now. Yes, he is. Yeah. Toot's on Facebook more than I am. I should be on Facebook more. I'm not. I don't even think I replied to my birthday messages. Oops. Alright, I think that's it for this color for this diagonal. So you can see that the diagonal's starting to form here. So here's the line. So I'm just going to fill in this box completely and then move on to fill in this box and then this box and then this box. So my plan going forward, so for the top, I was using a frame at first. So I was kind of doing the diagonals that fit in the frame. So my plan going forward is actually to do an entire diagonal. So like this one's pretty short from here to the edge of the piece, but I'm going to do this from the edge of the piece, this to the full edge of the piece down here. This one's going to be a long one down to the edge of the piece here, and then this one is going to basically like complete half of the piece there. That's my plan. I may bounce around a little bit more like I did with this to do certain detailed pieces that I'm excited for. Because if I lock myself into something, I'm not going to do it. Just not going to do it. Ooh, I do have more purple. It's up here. All right. More purple. There's so much more purple. Although I only have a little tiny thread left. I'm going to finish this off.
Thank you, Toot.
And thank you for the hydrate, Toot. Give me 1 second. Good morning, Moon. Welcome in. We were talking about you earlier. Our friend Moon Phased, fellow Twitch streamer here, does cross streams most Sundays, actually. Yes, we were talking about you. All good things, of course. Thank you for the shout out, Toot. But yeah, go follow Moon if you like cozy variety games and cozy cross stitch. Sundays are great for me in terms of like hanging out with friends, because Toot streams Ghost Church in the morning, and then Toot does Ghost Church in the morning, and usually Moon does cross stitch or Valorant or something in the evening. So it's just like I get nice cozy morning, then I get some chores done, and then I have nice cozy evening. Sundays are a good day. So there's the link for Toot, if you don't already follow. They'll be streaming Phasmophobia tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. For Ghost Church. Thank you, Earls. Thank you, Earls. Early is typing to you all while she's having her bath here. Love how Banks is coming along. Thank you. I'm filling in this diagonal here. This was completely empty when we started stream, so we're just plugging along at it. I've done 2 colors so far. I'm just working on the third, which is 550, which is a lovely shade of purple. I do love it. Yeah, I love how much purple is in this piece. And then we're going to get down to the pumpkins, and they're going to be just like bright oranges and golds. It's going to be so good. In the original piece of art, in the original pattern, it was kind of weird. The pumpkins were pink. So they looked orangey because of the contrast with, like, they looked like orangey peach-ish because of the contrast with the purple, and because, like, you kind of expect them to be orange because they're pumpkins, but they weren't orange, they were pink. So I recolored them. I did a color conversion. We distracted Spoopy by shopping for more Nurge hoops. Sorry. Moon, Nurge hoops have the magic ridge. And they are rectangular. I may have to get my hands on some. I know, isn't this wonderful news? Banks is confused that I keep saying her name. Banks. Is she over with you, Toot? So, when I used to stream in our old setup, I was sitting like 3 feet from Toot. Now I am across the house in my own room. Which is okay, but also it's better for the sound quality of my mic, but also I'm away from Toot. Oh wait, I missed a bunch of messages. Moon, I found the perfect deck of cards for your game. Ooh, Moon's gonna look for Nurge hoops at the LNS. Order Stitch, you don't have to do that. You. Oh, Gwen, you shared the cards on Discord. I'll have to check that out. Spoopy says I only have 1 Nurge hoop at the moment. It's occupied by a project. You just want more. And Toot says ew because I said that I missed her. Look, I love my goblin, okay? Moon asks, will you be using for decoration or play? And Gwen is, I'll be playing with them, but they add to the aesthetic. It's all about the aesthetic. And, like, honestly, we play a lot of Munchkin, or we used to play a lot of Munchkin. And we actually have the Munchkin, like, D10s to track our levels. And the Munchkin dice for playing. because it adds to the experience. We also have the Munchkin Cthulhu. It's like a little plush Cthulhu, and whoever has the plush Cthulhu gets a boost or something in the game where Cthulhu is present. I can't remember exactly what. Oh, and the cards will match with some of the other games you have in mind. Nice. Gothy says, I got the set of 4 with all the sizes in the dark gray. I'm particular with color as well. All three of the 4 are occupied. I find the biggest size still gives me a lot of hand fatigue to hold, but the shape does help me brace it on the desk a bit more. Yeah, I understand that. Like this one, this is a 10-inch. I have... It's going a bit fish-eyed. This is actually a straight line. I have a measuring tape taped to my desk. This is a 10-inch hoop. Yep. This is a 10-inch hoop, and yeah, this is kind of like the biggest that I would want to work with, and my sweet spot is like a 6 or an 8-inch hoop. The set came with a 12-inch hoop, which I've tried to use, and it is just, it's heckin' gigantic. Like it's too much, man. It's too much. The biggest one is 280 millimeters by 25 millimeters for the rectangle. 250 millimeters. 25 inches. 25 centimeters. That's big. Big. I have to look into it. I can look into it. But yeah, like even this one, I'm resting it on the desk. I mean, honestly, when I'm stitching right now, I'm leaned forward so that you can see what I'm doing. If I'm stitching, I'm usually like back in my chair like this, and then I use my tummy, my beautiful tum, as like my stand, and then I can just really lightly hold it with this hand because my stomach does most of the work. I don't know how thin people do certain things. Like, I've been big all my life. Just not to go into like a whole other topic, because we're gonna wrap up soon. But I've been big all my life, and I've always used my belly to like brace things or support things. And I've always wondered how thin people do the same thing without a tummy. I don't know. Gothy says, yeah, stomach, chest to help hold it up when your hands are tired if you're sitting back. Yeah. Yup. It says same. Oh my god, plus size people privilege. Right? Like, it's not like an extra limb. It's not prehensile or anything, but it's like an extra little ledge. Imagine a prehensile stomach. I just said it, and like the image that came out into my head is cursed. So we are going to get wrapped up here in a couple minutes, because it is noon. I must feed. Gonna feed myself, feed the goblin, feed the kids. Boys are eating this week too. Moon says, I often use my hips to carry things with one arm, embracing the object on my hip. Yeah, I do that too. Long Furbies have a prehensile stomach? Yes. Does that mean that I can get a long Furby? Sophie says, I struggle sometimes getting comfortable enough to stitch. Oh, you guys are talking. Because I use a Lowry floor stand, and sometimes my chest starts pushing on the hoop away from me. So I get irritated because I need to be closer, but my chest won't let me. That might have been kind of what I was running into with the stand. It's just, it couldn't, yeah, the geometry didn't work. Juana says, I like to say I have an equator and not a waist. Juana, I love that. I might steal that. I mean, you'll hear me. I always say, like, I have a glorious tome. My magnificent bulk. Just trying to change the, just trying to change the words around it. You know what I mean? Like, it might, I might be saying it in a silly way, but still, it's rephrasing it in my head, and the more I say it, the more it sticks. Gwen says, gotta bounce, love y'all. Alright, bye Gwen. Bye, have a good day. Oh, it's from a Terry Pratchett novel, Wenna? Okay. I will steal it from you and Sir Terry. Gothy says, I love long Furbies. I cannot wait until I can get one. The creepier, the better. Gothy, you should join the Discord, because when I get my office set up, I will show you some truly cursed office decor. Truly cursed office decor. Just pull up the Discord link. Cursed, like how cursed? I have mannequins and Fraggles smashed together. Eye flower lamp. No, but maybe soon. I just love cursed stuff. Hello, and also hello, Lady K. Lady K popping in right at the last minute. But yeah, I love cursed stuff. I got a Raggedy Ann clock. I will have to show it to you. Once we move and have space, I plan to get more cursed stuff. Mostly can't wait to have my Furby wall collection expand. Yes, Furby wall. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, but I am switching us over to the ending screen. Body modified Furbies. Long Furby. Okay. All right, guys. So, thank you for joining me today. This was. Thank you, Cruza. Thanks for joining me today. This was so much fun to do. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for the gift sub, Wenna. Just thank you all for being here. Wenna says bye. Moon says thank you. You are so welcome, and thank you for hopping in. I'm glad you were able to join. So I will be back on Monday afternoon for a co-working stream. Toot will be back tomorrow morning for Ghost Church, and then again Monday for more Phasmo. The stream schedules will be posted in Discord, on YouTube, and also on Blue Sky. I'm trying to think what else. So just keep an eye out for the stream schedules, but it's going to be pretty much what it was before we took our break to move. Check out all of the links. I just dropped a new pattern on Thursday. Okay, gotta fix that command. I just dropped a new pattern on Thursday that you guys might like. If you are a member of the Patreon, I will be sending out the Patreon May patterns, Patreon April patterns, probably this week. If you are not a member of the Patreon, you should definitely check it out. There's a free tier. You get a free cross-stitch pattern in your inbox every month, as well as some behind-the-scenes newsletters from us, extra pictures of the kitters, that kind of thing. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. I'll be back Monday. Toot will be back tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Toot, for modding. And thanks for keeping me hydrated. So let's just hang out just a sec while I'm going to find someone to raid out to. .3D printing Boba Fett. Oh, not many people doing cross stitch this morning. All right, well, we're gonna go and hang out with, oh, Moto Ruxin, actually. They just went live. They are doing a giant Disney cross stitch. I see Dumbo. So I've never watched them before, so we'll go check it out. Go say hi. All right, my friends. Oh yeah, I do see Dumbo. That is super cute. Okay, so we're gonna go see Moto Ruxin. My friends, thank you for joining me. I will see you in the Discord server. I'll see you in the coffee shop. I will see you in early Special Princess Palace. But most importantly, I will see you in my heart. All right. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.